Hello, Commander, and welcome back to the Radio Sidewinder talk show. I'm Commander Felix Jefferson, and this week I'm joined by...
I'm Commander Stephen Atronach.
And wow, it's been quite a lot of time since we last did an episode.
Yeah, that's true. It has been a few months since the last time we recorded, and since then quite a lot of things have been happening out in the galaxy.
Yeah, and you know what? I think we should alter the show to reflect that. I mean, we got to catch up. We're pretty far behind.
I mean, it is just not even just out in the galaxy, but to us ourselves. I mean, we haven't given any of our rabid fans any updates since the last time we were on air. I mean, what happened? You had a close encounter of the third kind, and quite close. And I myself joined up with a faction that many people may have heard of.
Yeah, quite a popular faction. So
I believe they even had an advertisement here on Radio Sidewinder. For those of you who don't know, it's Ashling's Angels, a player faction devoted to helping Aisling Duval expand her power and stop the reign of slavery in the Empire and the galaxy as we know it.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty noble cause.
Yeah, that's why, I tried to get you to apply, but you seem to be so dead set on keeping slavery in the universe.
I don't know if that was my quote exactly. I just personally don't think Aisling has what it takes to lead the galaxy.
Well, I mean, who does really? She's the only major leader who's not completely corrupt and isn't supporting slavery, even though it's quite a controversial position for her, considering she's the princess of the Empire, whose tradition is just deeply rooted in slavery and indentured servitude. She just does not agree with that, and she outright refuses to be a part of it, which is quite a bold stance, in my opinion.
Yeah, that definitely is. I mean, especially with all sorts of hate that she must get, especially from devout Arissa supporters or even Semina Torval supporters who just want to get their mining lance and, transport slaves.
Zemina has that mining lance out for grabs, and of course she has the extra prices that she'll give you in her systems if you sell slaves there, because she certainly quite enjoys the indentured slave runs.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I have to admit, though, I'm not sure if that's such a lucrative business anymore. I mean, have you been out to Robigo recently?
I haven't, to be honest. I haven't been out to Robigo or Fihu recently. I've been focusing on getting all these complaining passengers everywhere they want to go. And if you've heard that on the radio, please don't stop supporting Atronach Airlines. I'm not talking about you specifically, just the other passengers.
Yeah, the ones that always cause problems. I mean, they just go on to complain. Let's be real.
Yeah, it's always like changing their destination. I mean, you paid for a ticket to go from one place to another. You don't get to demand that I suddenly take you halfway across the galaxy somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you have people who are trying to kill you and you're on my ship, don't get mad when they scan me to find out if you're there. I'm gonna kill them anyway.
I mean, it's not the pilot's fault that you've done nefarious things.
I mean, yeah, you should be happy I'm even letting you on my ship in the first place.
Right, because, I mean, we could just kick you off at any time.
Jettison the passengers.
Exactly. But, Robigo actually... the slave market in Robigo has just declined massively. I don't even... Like, the last time I went, I don't remember seeing a single slave mission that was actually profitable to me.
Well, being as you're a Federation pilot, you probably shouldn't be looking for slave missions that are profitable to you, at least not on the open airwaves.
Well, I mean, that may be true, but, I mean, I consider myself more of an independent pilot because, honestly, Hudson and the Federation, they've been doing some strange things recently. I'm not sure if I can stay leaning over there to the Federation side of things. Maybe I even will go over to the Alliance. Who knows?
Yeah, it seems kind of interesting that, I mean, the Federation's really just trying to dig their hands into everything they can. I mean, they tried to take over Maya just to make sure that they had a foothold there, but the Anthill mob actually rose up and stopped them. It really tells you something when a criminal organization gets enough of a public support and backing to keep the Empire out of a system that they're really just not wanted there.
Yeah. Which actually, this might surprise you, but I actually went to Maya and fought for the Empire.
actually am surprised. That's one step closer that I'm getting you to signing up for Ashling's Angels.
Well, I don't know. That day will never come, I believe. But I will admit that the Federation, it seems like they're hiding something from us, and especially over there in Maya, where they've started putting farragets over the barnacles, and then they started doing this whole war thing. It just seems kind of strange. It's like, why don't you just let Ishmael Palin and the scientists actually do their work? This could actually be very dangerous to us.
Well, and if they're going to start putting their farragets over every single unclaimed piece of alien territory, they're going to have a serious issue now with all of these ancient structures and relics that have been found recently. I mean, we don't know where they're from or who put them there.
Right, yeah, exactly. I mean, this is going to sound pretty strange, but maybe Commander Honors Next Nessus, who we used to have on the show, he was pretty regular. He always claimed that the Thargoids could be a menace that could come back and attack us again. Like, it seems like he might be onto something right now.
Well, it seems like there might be something, but who says it's going to be an attack? It could easily be a peaceful reunion, if it's a reunion at all. I mean, our records of those times are so sketchy nowadays. We don't really know what happened on back then.
Yeah, thanks, Federation.
The Federation. I mean, they're always hiding stuff, like you said. And here's the thing. Look, I mean, you got your Corvette. They can't just take it away from you if you're going to leave the Federation.
They can try, but I mean, I'm going to try and put up a fight.
Since you know that you're more of since I know that you're more of an independent pilot, you're not really just in it for the morals. You want a little bit of stuff on the side. I can see that point of view, and it would be great on that Federal Corvette.
What would be great on my Federal Corvette?
Nice, thick green prismatic shields.
I have to admit, those do seem pretty enticing because, you know what? Waiting 10 minutes for my 7As to recharge kinda sucks. And if I just had stronger shields to begin with, then maybe they wouldn't go down so often.
Exactly. Why wait 10 minutes for 7As to recharge when they just don't have to recharge in the first place because they don't go down?
Yeah.
It's a substantial increase, and you only get that by working for the right people.
Well, I guess if you're looking at the galaxy a certain way, then yes, they are on the right side of the galaxy.
Well, there's no up and down or right and left in space.
Yeah, good point. But speaking of my Corvette, I recently visited a neutron star and upped my frameshift drive range to 67 light years.
Whoa, you mean you actually built a Corvette that can get out of the system it's currently in?
Well,
that's insane.
Yeah, about that though, because you see, I need a neutron star to supercharge the FSD. So if there isn't a neutron star around, then I still have my default jump range of about maybe 20 on a good day.
Sounds like, you should probably just tow the neutron star along with you.
Hey, there's an idea. That might work out pretty well. Well, it seems like it's just about time that we take a short break. We'll be back in a couple minutes, Commander.
Welcome back, Commander, and I hope you enjoyed those short messages from our sponsors. Now, Commander Felix, you recently went out on an exploration trip, isn't that right?
Yeah, actually, you went too.
I didn't go as far as you, though.
Well, that's true. But, yeah, we saw some things with Commander Nixon, who was with us.
Yeah, so I wasn't there for that. I only heard it secondhand. So why don't you go ahead and describe for myself and the commander listening what exactly went on?
Well, the plan that we had was, I think we were going to go to Sagittarius A star originally. Mm-hmm. But we had a little bit of a encounter on the way there with a strange hauler, I believe it was.
I don't really see a lot of haulers out there, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, usually once you get further out into the black, you really only see anacondas, asps.
Occasional diamondback.
Yeah, maybe diamondbacks, but not really much else. I think someone brought like a drop ship on the Distant Worlds expedition.
That had to be quite the tedious journey.
Yeah, I don't think that would be such a great exploration ship, personally, after owning a dropship myself.
I guess it's for the challenge more than anything, right?
Yeah, that's true. But, yeah, no, it was strange. Commander Nixon alerted me over comms saying that there was a unidentified object near his location, and I said, "Oh, that's it's kind of strange. What is it? What does it want?" And he scanned it, noticed it was a hauler, but it didn't have any commander data.
Strange. No name whatsoever.
Yeah, no name, no sort of markings on the ship, no bounty records, not even like a faction association, really. And so I thought maybe we should just follow him, see where he's going. So Commander Nixon, followed him for a little while until he dropped out of Super Cruise into, well, nothing really. We weren't near any landmark, not even near a planet or anything. It was just in the middle of the black. And I mean, there isn't much out there anyway, but, regardless, just somewhere random he dropped out. And Commander Nixon was the only one to get somewhat close to him, that he was still on his radar. I overshot a little bit, and that put me quite a ways away.
Hey, we've all had to do the loop of shame every once in a while.
Yeah, you know how it is. But he said that it started making some weird noises, which I eventually heard through my ship's computer as well. It sounded like screaming and death. It was terrible.
It's pretty strange. I mean, that is pretty strange. Now, I actually a while ago got a chance to play with some of the unidentified artifacts back when we had first discovered them, and when you destroyed them, it does emit a similar screaming sound to what you're describing. So with that, coupled with these artifacts and relics that we've been finding, I just wonder how close it is that aliens could be around the corner.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I don't know what a hauler of all ships was doing out that far. I mean, even if it was piloted by a commander, and for some reasons our computers just weren't picking their name up, I mean, why would they be smuggling meta-alloys or whatever material that they had in their cargo hold that would make that weird noise? And the strangest thing of all was, after a couple of minutes of interaction, the ship just disappeared with no trace whatsoever. No high wake, no low wake, no source of travel at all. It's just gone.
Yeah, I've heard some rumors that the Thargoids back in the day, it's just stories and secondhand stories, but what I've heard is that they had a much better control and command over witch space than we do. I've heard that ships in witch space can be pulled out of it just in the middle of jumping. Could you imagine being pulled out of a high wake? That would be terrifying.
Ooh, that would damage the hull on the Corvette quite a bit, honestly. That would make my shields go down. I'd probably have to use a shield cell bank.
Unless, of course, you had a prismatic shield generator.
Yeah.
Bringing it back to that, though, I mean, I've had some interesting times with with Ashling's Angels pretty recently. It's been a lot of fun. It gives me a bit more purpose, I think. I've always been interested in trying to end the blight that is slavery on the galaxy. You don't really feel like you're getting very far until you have some people that you work with who are interested in quite the same thing.
Right, yeah, and I think it sounds like it's a pretty tightly knit community. So I have to admit, even though I won't be joining them, and I don't really stand for Ashling's policies, but it sounds like it's a pretty neat little group there.
Well, and here's the thing. Ashling's Angels is a little more underground than most of the factions in the terms that we're not officially recognized by the Empire. Ashling's own government cabinet, of course, recognizes us, and we're able to bear her name and do missions for her, and the systems that we own are considered Aishling space systems. But Ashling's Angels is not an Empire-supported faction because our statement, our motto is so far away from the Empire's own.
Oh, okay.
So yes, even though we work mainly for the benefit of Aishling, we are a neutral, a free, independent faction, and We accept pilots from all walks.
Oh, okay. So if I were to say be a Federation pilot or even an Alliance pilot, could I still join?
You could still join. You could even join as an unaffiliated pilot. Now, you might have a couple of issues when it comes to doing things such as undermining in certain areas if you're going against your own power. But, if you are truly willing to try to help out Ashling as a power and to help out ending slavery throughout the galaxy, then yes, you're more than welcome to apply.
That's pretty interesting. I thought they were only an Empire faction.
Nope, not an Empire faction at all. It's not like if you're looking at Ashling's factions in general, I mean, the Prismatic Imperium would be more of the public face of it. In fact, the Prismatic Imperium, while originally an Ashling focused faction, is now providing the main pilot Federation force of military might throughout the Empire.
Oh, okay.
So, if you want to go super public, you can join Prismatic Imperium or both. And if you just want to hang out, help out with, the same sort of goals that we do, to join Ashling's Angels. You don't have to join the Empire to join them.
Right, yeah. So it's very laid back, you're saying.
Very. But, of course, if you don't publicly join Ashling, you'll never have access to those shields.
Right, yeah, that's my dilemma currently.
and of course the hefty paycheck that comes along every week.
True.
Which definitely helps. But I'm not gonna pressure you into it. It would be fun, certainly, to have some comrades who aren't all Federation or pirate gung ho in Radio Sidewinder crew. I feel like I'm one of the few.
What? Radio Sidewinder pirates? What are you talking about, Commander?
I mean,
come on.
this is a talk show. We can spread some rumors here. I'm not saying it's a basis in fact. I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm just saying, a company meeting might be kind of interesting next week.
Well, it would be nice to have some more Empire compatriots among the Radio Sidewinder crew, but to be honest, I'm just happy to be a part of the Radio Sidewinder crew, and of course, any of you who'd like to join the Radio Sidewinder crew, all the information is available on our Galnet page.
Well, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Radio Sidewinder Talk Show. After a long hiatus, we are back. Be sure to join us next week on the Radio Sidewinder Talk Show.
I'm Stephen Atronach, signing off.
I'm Commander Felix Jefferson, signing off. Fly safe, Commander.